Punch it!
Hello there, my name is Logan, but you can call me Copycat99. And a teammate of mine recently opened a Lando showcase, so they requested that I do some sort of deck build for Lando. So I am going to do it in this live format that I've tried for a Twin Suns deck. So the leader we are building is Lando Calrissian, this jump to lightspeed version, which wants you to put units in both lanes and you get rewarded by 1 resource shields for doing that. And then he deploys as a powerful sentinel in either lane. I think the color that leverages his ability best is green, because he really likes sentinels, and being able to play both green and blue's best, green hero and blue hero's best sentinels really helps leverage his ability. And then Data Vault, I really like in blue-green heroism because there's a lot of redundancy in the top end. Redemption and Home One do very similar things of being a large impact that starts healing you immediately. And Luke and Ewing can just dig 10 cards for Luke, so adding cards that aren't Luke isn't as bad. So for turn 1 plays, I think we want Battlefield Marines, probably. Can never go wrong with Battlefield Marines. Gamorrean Retainer is a really cheap sentinel that you can play out with Lando for 3 if you've got a space unit. You can instantly shield it, which seems pretty good. Hair's okay. Will's okay. Luke is a pretty nuts both ground unit and pilot, so we're probably going to play him. Mon Mothma's decent. Phoenix Squadron A-Wing is just Space Battlefield Marines, so that's definitely going in. Maybe Regional Governor. Probably play Spark of Hope since we're going to be on 60 cards and can't consistently draw a resupply. 3, 6, 9, 12. Probably need at least 1 more. Let's just play the Restored Arcs for now. And then we've got a bunch of 3-power turn 1 plays on the ground and some decent ones in space. Where is this card deck? Scouting. Scouting Headhunter is really annoying with Lando's ability. Normally this card is pretty bad, right? It's a 2-cost 2/1 Sentinel. The stats are pretty bad. But if you play it on 3 with Lando ability and start shielding this thing, it gets really annoying. And like I said, Lando really likes this Sentinel, so even playing a kind of mediocre Sentinel gets better when you're just like mono Sentinel spamming. Speaking of Sentinels, obviously we're going to play 3 Village Projectors and 3 Echo-based Defenders. These are just green hero and blue hero staples, respectively, for slowing down aggro. Concord Dawn as well is the space version. And then I like Eager Escort Fighter as more anti-space out of green, just a 4/1 ambush. The thing with Lando, too, is if you start playing this with Lando ability, you can shield it before you ambush. And that lets you get rid of the downside of it only having 1 health if you just pop a shield. With the ambush, 3, 6, and 12. And then I was talking about resupply, but our leader is a 7 deploy to actually get him out before we die. Resupply is pretty good. Let's see. Following with the Mono Sentinel theme, we're going to play 3 Bright Hope in space. Another efficient Space Sentinel. Could go all the way and play Nemo Outpost on the ground, but I don't think that's necessary. Let's see. Let's try Poe's. So Poe is nice because if you play him and don't attach him as a pilot, he gets a unit in both lanes because he makes an X-Wing. So you get a 4-cost 3/3 in the ground and a 2/2 in space for 4, and then that instantly makes it very difficult for them to cut you off Lando ability, because they would have to kill both the Poe and the X-Wing to prevent you from Lando abilitying in a unit in the other lane. So that seems pretty decent, at least to test for me. Let's look at 5 drops. Chewbacca is a great anti-control deck, and he's decently statted on the ground, so we're going to play him. Pilot flexibility is nice as well. The rest of these are just okay. Oh, we're probably going to need to play some number of big unit removal, and Vanquish is pretty good, can target anything. That's it. 6-drop wise. Do we want Mandalorian or more Sentinel? I can shield our smaller Sentinels. Do we want Riken, who can give Lando experience? Seems pretty good. Obi's decent always. Could play Resupply Carrier, which lets you... So you play Resupply Carrier, you jump from 6 to 7, and then you can immediately put Lando on it and get a 9/10 Space Sentinel. That's that your opponent probably wasn't expecting. That's decent. My problem is that's like still like a pretty late play in the game. And I don't know if there's no better 6-drop, maybe we'll play that. Goal Leader is obviously designed to work with Lando, but this is just draft chaff. I don't think we can play that. I think I like the Riken idea more. I think I want to potentially start giving Lando experience, and maybe if we find space for timely intervention, General Riken's really good with timely intervention. And then 7s, obviously we are going to play 3 Luke Skywalker. He is just an absolute house. If you're playing Blue Hero, you need to play 3. And 3 U-Wing reinforcement. This is just extra copies of Luke, even though we're playing 60 cards. You can just dig 10 cards for Luke, or you can pull 2 or 3 Sentinels out of your deck. It's just really good. And then 8-drop wise, Redemption is just great. The cool thing with Redemption in Lando in particular, gosh, I cannot speak, is if you use Lando ability to put it in play on 9 resources, you finish resolving Lando before the win plate, so you can give it a shield, and then you can use Redemption's ability to heal 8, and then normally the damage goes on Redemption, but because it has a shield, it just pops the shield, so you get a full health Space Sentinel on top of healing 8, and it's a 6/9 Sentinel that is ginormous in space. So it is really sweet with Lando if you can afford to delay it a turn and get that shield on it. Similar with Home 1. Doesn't have quite as sweet an interaction with Lando, but this is just a really sweet late game threat that gives your whole board restore and resurrects something big. And this is another big component of probably our anti-control plan, is to try and res Chewbacca with Home 1 pretty repeatedly. I think as a part of that, we actually should be on regional governors. These are a great U-Wing pull to name Super Laser Blaster, no glory, only result. So I'm going to cut the Battlefield Marines for regional governors. I don't think 3-2 is that much worse than 3-3 most of the time with these 3-2s that actually have text compared to Battlefield Marine, which has no text. But regional governor being able to shut off no glory, which is control deck's primary answer to Chewbacca, or pulling it off U-Wing and naming Super Laser Blast seems pretty powerful to me. You can also play it even just as a 2-drop and try and gum up someone's early curve. It's pretty good. Do we need more events? What non-units could we even play? Moving Heroes non-unit package in general is pretty lacking in my experience. It's just like you play removal, like Vanquish, and that's kind of it. Turbo Laser Salva is interesting if you stick Lando on a decent ship. It's pretty big. But like we've got so many efficient Space Sentinels that I actually think it's pretty likely you're just deploying Lando on the ground. Unless you really need a super buff Bright Hope. Two sides would be decent, like sideboard tech versus slower decks. Vigilance is okay, but I think we'd rather play Recon or Lando ability in a 5-drop. Oh, takedowns are good. Maybe we should play takedowns. Is any of this else good? Perilous is a pretty decent leader answer, or leader delay, I guess. It doesn't fully answer. You need to commit something else into it. Um, Let's talking about timelies. Let's see if we can fit space for timely. A thing I really like about Data Vault too is you can play 23 of. So if you really know what your deck is trying to do and you have enough redundancy, you can just go for the max consistency on all your cards, which is pretty sweet if it comes up. Maybe one upgrade hate, probably in the sideboard. I don't know if we need to main it. Salvage is decent too. For getting back home wins and redemptions, maybe Sentinels. So that is 71. We have to cut 11. What are we on 2 of currently? Nothing? Oh, that's 369. That's because we're on 2 timings. So, it's interesting. 29 units is a lot. Maybe we just don't play the timelies. It's tough to make room for timely in my experience. Sometimes it's really good, and maybe if we're fine going like 2-2 takedown vanquish or whatever, you could fit it. 69, huh? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. We're kind of over on threes. I generally like 15 on Data Vault, 12 in a standard deck. This is a 2-1. I think we want all the top end we're currently on. Oh, this is tough. Cuts are tough. Do we have enough curve that we're fine not ramping? Spargo is kind of an awkward ramp card. It's kind of difficult to set up. Like, sure, you're playing Sentinels that they have to kill, but ideally you're shielding the Sentinels and they're just not hitting you at all. So if your Sentinels are dying, you're kind of not doing what the leader ability wants to do. Yeah, so maybe cut the Sparka Hopes, go down to 15 in normal matter non-units, and then we're on 6. Probably have to cut a 2-drop. We've got plenty of space presence. Let's cut the Restored Arcs. Just rely on Phoenix Squadron and Sentinels. And then 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 3-cost plays. It's tough. On the Poes, the Chewbacca's, the Recons, the Lukes, the U-Wings. I think it's probably a 3-resource play. Maybe it's just the Eager Escorts. So if we play Concord on 3, then we can play Poe on 4, make an X-Wing, and just put Poe on the Concord. That's pretty hot, and that means we're not Eager Escorting. Or we're playing a Ground Sentinel and shielding the Concord Dawn. Maybe it's just the Eager Escort Fighter. It's tough to fit it. That would get us down to 60. This looks like a pretty good place to start testing. I obviously don't extensively play Lando. I've dabbled a little bit, but I haven't spent too much time in him. But otherwise, this list looks pretty solid to me. I'd have to actually play it to develop it further than this, I think. And look, I did the fun thing and made it all 3 O's. So you can ruin its prettiness when you take the list and change a couple of cards. That's fine. Yeah, so let's save this and see if we can get a deck image this time. Last time I did this, 2DB did not want to load the deck image, which is kind of sad. All right, there we go. up on the screen for the video. Oh, man, I'm not supposed to do that. You can't see it all because it's Data Vault. Copy. Does this work? I want to see it. Whatever, you can just... I'll just leave it here for a little while and then I'll scroll down in a second. But if you like this kind of content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out. It helps grow the channel. It helps make YouTube like me more. Just it helps out a ton. I'm trying to hit 500 by the end of the year and 500 subscribers by the end of the year. And you going down, scrolling down and pressing that button, it helps me work towards that goal, which would be awesome. And then we'll scroll down here. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you in the next video.